All right, today is going to be a really exciting show here. We have everyone in the back preparing for our awesome tailgating experience that we're getting ready for.
Kayla, why does everyone else get to wear really fun jerseys and you asked me to wear my referee garb?
Okay, I need your help today. So what we're having them do is get ready for our tailgating on every different kind of countertop surface that is available. But they need to know that they're doing it right and they're doing the right things on the right countertop.
Okay, so we just basically need to see if there's any fouls on the play.
Absolutely. So
All right.
let's go take a look. We'll start with Lonnie here.
I'm crying, man. These onions are, oh.
Lonnie, are you crying?
Man, I'm crying and I'm not even sad. It's these onions.
What are you doing here?
I'm cutting some onions. We gotta get ready.
You can't do that, Tony.
You can't cut on laminate?
No, you can definitely, it can scratch.
I didn't know
Don't
that.
you see that?
Oh,
it was because you were crying. You can't see that. Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, well, we'll get it right on the next one. So what do we have going to here, Tony?
Okay, Kayla, I've got marble, and here's what I did. I put some lemon juice in this cup, and it ate the cup away, and now it is on my marble, but now it's starting to do something to my marble. What'd I do?
Absolutely, you can't use acid on marble. Tony, we got it.
Whoa,
Flag.
wait, what about wine then? If I have a little sip?
No, see, marble can stain. Marble's not good with acid. You can eat it away. That's definitely not the right one.
So marble and wine won't work on...
No, that is a flag for
okay,
sure.
Sorry.
We gotta, yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, Tyler, you ready? You done with your soup over there?
Yeah, I think it's all done. I'm ready to bring it over to that butcher block right there.
Okay, let's bring it over. I think it'll be really exciting. Oh, Tyler, what are you doing? Take a look. Look what just happened. You burnt it. We need a flag.
So you're telling me butcher block can burn?
It can absolutely burn. You definitely want to use that hot pad there when you're looking on butcher block. So I think that's going to be pretty important. So, Jared, what do you have over there?
We got a little roast going. I think we're ready to serve this up. Let's put it over here.
No, we're good. Tile, not on tile. You could chip, it could dent. That wouldn't be good
I'll just set it over here and stay.
No, not. Oh, see, that's stainless. Stainless can dent too. That's flag on the play. Yep, flags.
It's just a little mark. It's okay.
No, you definitely.
Sorry, guys.
We'll learn.
Sorry.
We'll definitely learn. Elizabeth, I think you got some work to do, so
Yeah.
we'll let you have it. Everyone out of the way now.
Okay, I've got a potato. I'm using quartz here, and
Okay. Yeah.
everything seems good to me.
Absolutely. You can cut on quartz, and you have the other one there, granite too. You can cut on both of those, so I think you're okay there.
Wow, no scratching,
No.
nothing.
I think we're getting ready for our tailgate. We're almost there, guys.
Okay,
Hopefully
let's bring all the
everyone's
food out. Let's go for the food,
right.
guys.
All right.
I'm grabbing the wine.
I got the soup.
All right, Tyler, we're going to work on laminate today, and that's what our subject is. I love it. It has come so far now.
I agree. This is probably the most popular countertop that I see out in the field.
Great. Oh,
Absolutely.
thanks.
So many good
Hey, the
images,
chili
edges.
was
It's going to be a
awesome.
lot of fun.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we got to go ahead and get started. Lonnie, would you open up for us?
Sure. Hey, welcome to Between the Studs. I'm Lonnie Norris, and this is part of the Granite Ridge Builders team, including Tony Reinke, our president. We build custom homes in your neighborhood or one of ours in northern Indiana, northwest Ohio, or parts of southern Michigan. Each week, we really enjoy talking about what we do. Thanks for joining us today. I know we've got a very exciting show, don't we, Tony?
We really do. Today's going to be about countertops. We've always heard that the kitchen is the heart of the home. Well, probably the most important component of any kitchen is the countertop, and it's probably the one that's most used every day.
Absolutely.
So we're going to break down all those types and the ones that you guys like, the ones that we like. But for instance, granite. A lot of people don't know, granite has only been around since around the 1980s. In fact, the two colors that we got to choose from is all we had in 1987. And Tony, I think your subject is going to be granite.
It is granite, and that is a misconception because granite's actually been around since they did the Egyptian periods. Yeah. They have found some in the pyramids. Also, it's how they did the entire St. Louis riverbank was in granite with that. And if you go to a lot of the national parks like Yosemite, you'll see the big domes of granite around there that, nature has made over time.
So what other countertops are you guys going to talk about today?
Well, Tony, when we talk about granite, quartz is one where people get them confused between granite a lot.
Sure.
I love quartz because I love the warranty, I love the amount of slab choices you have, and it's a really durable product.
And I like wood. I remember when my grandma would prepare the food on wood. Butcher block is back.
Yeah.
I love marble, maybe not in a kitchen, but in a bathroom. It's timeless, it's elegant, it's just a beautiful classic look.
Stainless steel for me, of course, industrial type kitchens or gourmet kitchens often have stainless steel in it, and it's what I prefer.
You know, I think you can still do tile on a countertop. A lot of people think of it as backsplashes, but really you could dress up your wet bar area and a lot of different areas with tile.
Well, I think we've proven that we have so much to talk about. You're going to learn a lot, so stay tuned. Guys, let's go find our stations and talk about countertops today.
Sounds good to
I
me.
think laminate.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean, just
gourmet,
look at all
baby.
these different choices.
It is so awesome.
McDonald's isn't
Yes.
gourmet, is he?
Hey, as we mentioned, today's show is all about countertops, those horizontal working places in the home, like in the kitchen and the baths, typically at about waist high, where a lot of activities are taking place, and today they're a major accent in today's new home.
They are. We call them countertops, kitchen tops,
Bench tops, work tops.
Yeah,
Right.
yes, you're correct. And there's a lot of history when it comes to the countertop. In the 14th century, they called them counters because they would stand there and count the money.
Where you exchange your money. Spent a lot of money at countertops over the years.
That's correct. And then about the 19th century, they did call them countertops because that's where the retail all took place.
Wow, and there's a lot of different products that we use today when it comes to countertops, particularly in kitchens and baths, but we also have countertops like in workstations and garages.
Technook, yes.
But let's look at bathrooms and kitchens, for example.
Yes, and we have 8 or 9 different tops we're going to talk about today. For example, one would be quartz. This is a really popular option when people come in today because of all of the colors and the varieties that you can choose from.
And then there's wood. Butcher block is kind of coming back. And then there's also like laminate, which is a plastic over a wood product typically.
We also have stainless steel. You see that in just about any kitchen at a restaurant. They have the stainless steel, or you used to see it back in diners.
And then there's solid surface, for example. Some call it Corian. And then there's quartz, and even quartzite, which is a natural product made of quartz, of course.
Well, Lonnie, I can't wait. I know everybody's waiting to start talking about this. Let's head out there.
Let's do it.
Tyler, doing a show all about countertops, I think we really have to start with laminate as the first option because it was the most popular here until, honestly, about 10, 20 years ago.
I agree. This has become, like I said earlier, one of the most popular countertops that I tend to see in the field when we're going to install it in a kitchen or bathroom.
Absolutely. You know, can you tell us a little bit how laminate is constructed? What is it made of?
Sure. So when we look at a laminate top, it's composed of a variety of different layers. So there's a wood core, and then there's a few layers of either particle board or craft paper, and then we look at the surface of a laminate countertop, which is actually heated melamine. And when we heat it, it cures it and gives it that rigid surface that you're used to seeing or running your hand across.
So a lot of people refer to this as Formica. Now, there's several different names. Formica is probably more the brand name. Laminate is the generic name, but there's a lot of different brands. You have Nevmar, Pionite, Wilsonart. We use all of those here, including Formica, but I think there's an interesting story. Where did the word Formica come from?
Yeah, Gayla, Formica has been around, like you said, since the early 1900s. It actually was created by 2 engineers at Westinghouse Electric. So when we look at mica, mica is a mineral that was used to insulate wiring back in the day. So when they found out that they could treat polymers at a high pressure, they ended up using those to insulate wire, so they ended up using it for mica. So it replaced that mica mineral. So like you said, when people refer to these countertops, you hear Formica, you hear laminate, Wilsonart. There's a variety of different names, but they all mean the same thing. But like you said, one is a trademark brand name, whereas the other is more referring to the surface itself.
Absolutely. Now, there's so many different images, and laminate has come a long way over the years. You have everything that looks like marbles. You have them made to look like granite, and what they've really done to make it look more realistic is the surface of it and the finish. So you have some that are a little bit more glossy. You even have laminates that are textured, that have some rigidness to it. So there's a lot of different options when it comes to laminate, including the edges can make it look more impressive as well, having something like a rolled edge or what we call a super. So all of those are so many different options, and laminate is very affordable and a really great look for your next home.
And I can't even imagine, Kayla. I mean, just look at all these options.
You know, I think we have to like pick some for the spec here coming up.
Okay.
So I mean, have you seen that one? Did that look pretty good?
Yeah, this is actually really.
One of the great reasons to build with Granite Ridge Builders is that when you go through your selections, you get to choose almost everything right here in-house in our showroom. But from time to time, you do have to leave the showroom, and one of those great trips is to go to the Granite distributor. You can go there to see the big slabs in their natural habitat, and there's a lot of reasoning behind that, right, Tyler?
That's right, Izzy. One of the biggest questions I get from homeowners after we've set their cabinets is, when do I get to pick out my slab? And they're usually referring to the quartz, granite, or marble selection that they picked out with that decorator. Typically, we end up setting cabinets, and then we have our distributor come out to template for those tops. And when they template for the top, it's really a big stencil that they get to go over with that distributor. They get to put it up on the slab, and they really get to pick out the pattern that's going to correlate with each room that they selected that surface for.
And we want to make sure that those surfaces incorporate the kind of movement in the right place of the countertop. When you choose those colors, you're going to see dark colors, you're going to see lighter selections. Some are going to have a whole lot of movement, and some of them are going to be very simple and very solid in their color choices. Besides choosing those options, of course, you get to choose what kind of edge you're going to put on your granite. So there's lots of selections, and there's even some different processes that we can do to make things what we would call a leathered granite or a matted finish. Lots of different finishes that you can choose, and out at the distributor you're going to get to see all these things fresh in front of your face.
That's right, Izzy. And one of my favorite parts about going to that distributor is seeing how they make a full slab or stone turn into the template that it's going to be for their kitchen, their bathroom. And what a lot of people think is that that big slab is cut with a saw, but what they're really using is high pressured water to cut out that template, whether it be for the sink cutout or just the slab itself. And they use that same process like you were talking about with doing the edges and the different finishes that they get to select. It's pretty awesome to see.
Well, if you haven't had a chance to come into our showroom, please do so. Again, we've got so much to see here, and then once you get those selections narrowed down, we'll take you out to a Granite distributor, and it's quite the adventure.
Absolutely. We should take some of these samples back to the decorator real quick.
They were looking for them earlier.
We've talked about laminate countertops, and the next one that we really need to focus on is going to be granite, because granite is nationwide the most popular choice for kitchen countertops.
There's been so much talk about granite being a newer product that came around in the early 1980s. We touched on it earlier in the show. Granite actually goes back into the Egyptian times. Granite has always been around. It is a natural material that you find in a lot of the mountains, and we have these natural mining areas for the granite all over the country.
You know, a lot of them are located south in South America. You get some from Brazil. Really great areas to see exactly what's come out of the earth is what gets to go in your kitchen countertop, and it's incredibly durable.
One thing that I've been extremely excited about lately is how much granite has actually been reducing in price from where it was a few years ago.
It is much more affordable now in all sorts of different levels. So some of the more simple patterns, they're going to be quite a bit less expensive, and they're done by grade level. So it starts at a level A, going up to B, C. You can even get into G, E, and Fs if you want something really exotic and rare.
Now, when you're talking about a granite countertop, there's a lot of different things that you can do to the granite to make it unique as well, correct?
Absolutely. So we start off with a typical polished finish. So that's going to be very smooth, a little bit shiny, and then you can even do honed or a matte finish, which takes that shininess off of it and just has a little bit less sheen to it, a little bit more matte, and a little bit of texture. But then if you really want some nice texture like what we have here in our showroom, it's called a leathered, and it has a really nice natural look to it.
Now, when it comes to the granite, it's kind of like the style that we're having in the kitchens right now. There's truly nothing out of style, is there?
Absolutely. There's so many different styles and patterns. And like I said, with the durability of granite, it's something to consider. You don't need to really worry about heat. You don't have to worry about scratching. Honestly, if you're going to cut on this, you're probably going to dull your knives first before you do anything to the countertop. But it's something that it's not going to stain. And the best part about it is we've always been told, oh, granite is maintenance. You have to seal it every year or 6 months. The nice thing is with a lot of the distributors around the area, they're using a seal that lasts for 15 years. So it's not something that needs to be worried about like it used to.
Kayla, with everything that we're talking about, a lot of things that we've been discussing lately on a lot of shows is outdoor living and doing outdoor kitchens. Granite okay to put out there?
Well, absolutely, because I mean, it is a natural product. It came from the earth, so you can put it out there and it's going to hold up really, really well. So it's a great product to consider indoors, outdoors, and for any application that you're looking at.
And the great thing about Granite Ridge Builders is we have a lot of kitchens on display that show the different finishes of the granite. You have that polished finish, you have that leathered finish, you have dark, you have light. We have a lot of sample kitchens and even more samples on top of that. Stop by our showroom and ask to take a peek.
Hey, you know, they said we can do this in showers too. I'm waiting for the next one.
Oh.
Well, Kayla, as I understand it, one of the new materials that is really gaining popularity is quartzite. Not quartz, but quartzite.
Absolutely. Quartzite is becoming very popular. As you can see here, it is a gorgeous product, and you're going to have a lot of similarities to a quartz because this is a natural quartz product here, but again called quartzite because it is something that is not man-made. Quartz is completely man-made, but this one here is natural, comes from the earth, and it has a lot of properties that it's very durable, hard to stain, hard to scratch, and it has all that natural beauty in it still.
How does it compare to the price of like quartz, for example?
It's actually, it can be a little bit less than quartz, very similar to granite pricing. This here is a level C. You have granite pricing anywhere from a level A to a G, so it's right here in the middle of that, and they're going to go more off of granite pricing for this because it is a natural product.
And since it is natural, will we have a lot of different selections?
You do. There's a lot of different selections that you can have for this. I think at the distributor we use now, they probably have about 10 or 15 different slabs of quartzite here, and you can do it polished or leathered like we talk about in the granite segment.
I really like it. And tell me about the maintenance of it.
The maintenance is going to be very similar to a granite, so it's not something you're going to have to seal very often because the sealer they use is probably about 15 years, and so you're really talking a great product for any sort of use.
I like this. Hey, come on into Granite Ridge Builders and check out the quartzite.
So Kayla, we're going to talk a little bit about a product that maybe the folks at home aren't really familiar with. We call it solid surface, or some other names, maybe Staron or Corian or some brand names. Tell us a little bit about this product and how it's manufactured.
So solid surface is going to be a product that is mixed together. It's man-made, so you're going to have acrylics, pigments, other little specks in there to put it together for a solid top. You're going to recognize it more as a speckled look than a veining. It's going to have just some smaller pieces and parts to it to make up the different colors, and you can get that in light or dark colors, but it's something that is pretty popular in a couple different areas, including bathrooms.
Yeah, so what are some of the benefits about this product? I know one is easy to clean.
It's definitely easy to clean. The benefit to it, especially in a bathroom, is this integral sink right here. So a lot of times people don't like those drop-ins in bathrooms where you have to seal around the edges, and even an undermount sink with a granite or quartz, sometimes there's some cleaning maintenance to do with that, so people really like it for the integral bowl. The reason we say it's popular in a bathroom is definitely because in the kitchen, this is something that you need a hot pad with because it can burn under extreme heat. And it is a little more susceptible to scratching in a high use area, but in a bathroom it's great.
Well, stainless steel is everywhere, especially with all of the modern design today. We have stainless steel sinks, faucets, cookware, knives, but another place to use stainless steel is your countertop.
It's actually a great choice to consider. When you look at the different things that we've seen in professional restaurants for years and years, mostly they're using stainless steel countertops. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is that it's just a very easy thing to maintain. You've got lots of germs and food and things on there, and it's very easy to maintain just by wiping it down, using some antibacterial, and you can keep it very clean. It's very hard to stain as well. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind if you're trying to bring this into your kitchen, though, is that oftentimes we've talked about with the granite and the quartz that you have to template it to fit the size that you've got in your kitchen. Well, because it's hard to find these things being manufactured, often they're already pre-templated. So that what you have to do is you have to plan around the size of the stainless steel countertops that you're picking, so it is a little bit of a different way to go about it.
The gauge of your steel is also important.
Yes.
You want a very thick gauge steel so that it doesn't dent as easily. Now, when it comes to outdoors, stainless steel is another great place to put. Maybe you have a grill area. Of course, grills are stainless steel, which is great, it holds up well, but you also could have it on an outdoor kitchen. Another great application.
If someone wants to make a wow statement in their next home, I can't think of the more perfect product to use besides Cambria quartz.
Yeah, quartz has really evolved over time. We've got so many more slab options to choose from. It's really come a long way. But I think the viewers at home would really like to know about the manufacturing process and how they start to put that thing together.
So what Cambria uses to make their countertop is going to be 100% pure white quartz, and they're going to use 93% of what this material is the quartz. Then they're going to use pigment pigment and resin to make up the rest, and that's all it is. So it's a very complicated process to get all of this how it looks, but it is amazing in the end.
So Kayla, you and I were lucky enough to have the experience of going up to Minnesota where Cambria's headquarters is located, and they really walked us through the manufacturing process. I was really surprised at how Cambria got their start.
Absolutely. So what a lot of people don't realize is Cambria, the owners started as dairy farmers. So they used to make cheese, and it's amazing how similar they found that making cheese is to making quartz, because there's a lot of restrictions, a lot of requirements. You have to be top quality, making sure everything is perfect, cleanliness, and the properties of the cheese have to be perfect when it comes out. And so they realized that buying the certain equipment for the quartz, making that is going to be a very similar process, and that's how they got into the Cambria business.
And I gotta tell you, on that trip, Kayla, I think my favorite part was going to the Minnesota Vikings Stadium. Cambria, based out of Minnesota, took a suite and really put quartz everywhere. We see it a lot in countertops, but they did it on the floors, they did it on the walls, they did special inlays around the stadium, and I think the coolest part was watching them utilize all the gold and all the purple and really integrating that everywhere in the stadium.
And the really cool thing is if you go to that stadium, you're not going to see those anywhere else, because Cambria made 7 or 8 different styles just for the Vikings. Now what they were able to do was to come out with one that everybody could have a little piece of, and it's called, this one here is called Princeton. But what they did is they named this after Prince, because he was originally from Minnesota and of course loved purple and all of that. So they came up with this name for him and used it so everybody has a little piece of the stadium.
It's a beautiful top. It's a really cool pattern too. So when we talk about quartz, Kayla, what are some of the properties? What should people know when they install it in their kitchens?
Now, quartz is going to be the one everybody turns to when they're talking maintenance free. So a lot of people love the quartz because you don't have to seal it. You don't have to worry about it. It is 100% FDA approved. It is bacteria free. Nothing is going to come in contact with this that you're ever going to have to think about again.
Lifetime warranty included when you do that countertop. The big thing people need to know though is they don't want to heat that countertop over 440 degrees Fahrenheit. Those resins in there can melt, so you don't want to do any damage to that top with maybe some hot pans.
Absolutely. After that, scratching you're not going to have to worry about, and all of that. So it really is a great product for your kitchen, for your bathrooms. And again, you can do this not even just in your kitchens and baths. Think about showers and floors, and there's so many different applications. Cambria could be in your next home.
I think the last thing to talk about, Kayla, is the different patterns that they have. They've now come out with slabs that really look like granite, looks like marble, so you can integrate that look and still stick with the properties of quartz.
Absolutely. So everyone loves this marble, and Cambria's come out with tons of different looks that look like marble that's going to hold up in any application, and it's something that they're coming out with more and more colors. And what's great about Cambria, they've never discontinued one. So if you had one that you picked out 30 years ago and you need another piece of it, it is going to be available again today.
Yeah, just one more reason for all the folks at home to come into our showroom to see with their own eyes all the amazing Cambria slab options we have.
Well, when it comes to your countertops, one thing that people often don't think about is the countertop edge or profile.
It's one of those options that's going to make a really big difference in the overall look and function of your kitchen.
And there are a lot of different ones to choose from.
So each company is going to have its own set of edges depending on the type of countertop you picked. We've talked about probably 10 or more different kinds of countertops, so each one is going to have a special thing to think about. So the one I'm holding here, this is a quartz edge option where you have a little bit of a bull nose. This is going to really set the style of your home as well. Here, what Elizabeth's holding is granite edges. I'm holding some more laminate edges. So many different types of options, but you really want to think about the style of your home and how it compares to an edge style.
And when it comes to edge styles, there's a lot of different names. There's OG, bullnose, we have the Odyssey edge, we have the OG roundover. A lot of things to choose from.
Absolutely. You have waterfall and volcano. There's a great amount of options, and the other thing to think about with solid surface tops is the thickness. So especially with the quartz, you can get a 3 cm which is about 1.5 inches, or 4 cm, 5 cm. It can really make a great wow when you have a large, thick island in your kitchen.
So Kayla, we get to talk about a countertop that we don't see a lot in our area, and that's glass. The main reason we don't see it is a lot of the cost. It can be upwards of $200 a square foot, but we do use glass in some other areas, right?
Absolutely. So we're going to use it for a backsplash all the time. And what a backsplash simply is the transition between your countertop and the wall there. You can use anything for that backsplash area. You can use the laminate, or it could just be a painted wall, but we really prefer some sort of tile or glass look to protect that wall.
And Kayla, one of my favorite ways to apply glass is in a lot of these mosaic different patterns and styles that we see often in our showroom.
Absolutely, there's so many different colors. You know, this one here, I love the pattern behind it, with faced with glass.
Well, one of my favorite countertops is marble. It's a beautiful, timeless, elegant look. I think of a fancy hotel.
Right.
This is a Carrara marble that I'm holding here. So the Carrara you typically see more gray and more veining. The Calcutta is more of a white marble. When you get into that type of marble, the price really goes up the more white you see. Now, marble isn't usually the greatest thing in your kitchen just because it can stain. You wouldn't want to get lemon juice on it or spill wine because it could stain that product. You also will have to seal it about every 6 months. And just remember, if you do spill something and stain it, it's hard to reverse that. So you'll see this a lot in bathrooms. It's a beautiful look in there. But if you do like the marble look, remember there are other countertops like we've talked about today that look like this as well for your kitchen.
Another countertop that is available and out there is concrete. Concrete has becoming a little bit more popular throughout the times because you can truly control the color of it. You can figure out how you want to do it, design it yourself. Now there are a lot of things about concrete that you need to keep in mind. Number one, like the marble, you do need to seal that every 6 months to a year because it is more of a porous material and it is really easy to get those stains in there as well. However, it is pretty solid.
And with the industrial look or the loft looking coming, we're seeing a lot of demand for a product like this.
Kayla, what do you think about the new quartz?
I think it's pretty cool. I know it's bright, but a bathroom would be a really neat application.
that would be
Yeah, but I really like that soapstone. That's my go-to.
Yeah, this is awesome, Kayla. Where does this come from?
It comes from the northeast side, Maine. You know, I really think I need to take a trip and see it personally to
she
bring
needs
some
to take
sides.
a trip.
I
Another
think
trip.
so. I mean, it's really important.
This granite is the way to go. It's getting so affordable now.
It is. I love the granite, but I like the butcher block. It's great for an accent in the kitchen.
Okay, Lonnie, you and I have the best colors though. This is a granite also. What do you have?
I've got quartz, Tony, the sparkly quartz. I love it.
Oh man, this is amazing.
I'm telling you guys, you know, every one of your favorite restaurants, this is what they're cooking on, stainless steel. That's the way to go. Industrial, clean. It's really nice.
That's true.
Guys, if you have any questions about the installation process of any of these countertops, feel free to give Granite Ridge a call. We'd love to talk to you about it.
Another big portion of Granite Ridge Builders is our 15,000 square foot showroom. We have over 8 kitchens and 5 bathrooms in here that you can come in and see all the different applications of how each one of these is being used. Plus we have our decorators. They're here and they're here to help you at any time.
And Kayla told me we have almost 1,000 of these samples. Hey, time is getting short. Would you go ahead and close?
Absolutely. As always, guys, I want to thank you for spending part of your day with us. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about who we are, what we do, and why we do what we do so well, please just pick up the phone, give us a call, visit the website below, even better yet, come in our front door, and let us start helping you pick out the perfect countertop for your custom Granite Ridge home.
Okay, we got to put all this
Okay,
back.
Kayla, if you're going to Maine for soap,
This feels like a shield.
go to the Caribbean. to
Someone
check out
get that
some
man
of the
his
different-
I don't know. That might be a little bit of a
Can I
stretch.
come with you,
I'm
Tony?
thinking that.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go.
Ready and action.
Oh, she's
Take 2.
There's too much pressure.
I'm 1 for 1.
Let's do it.
I did it perfectly 4 times.
Let's wait for somebody else to come here in about 10 minutes.
I couldn't get past you, so I was trying to figure out how to get in. I was like, I can't get past you.
I thought he was going to start low and just rise up like an elevator.
Drop down on all fours.
How do I get in there?
Izzy, why don't you just go up the back stairway and around the back?
We got to stretch in more.
Just quit.